Hello everyone, welcome back to Velocity Verdict. Today we are going to be reviewing this 2024 Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now at the front we have the Alfa Romeo logo with the signature Alfa Romeo grille that's dark and blacked out. And then on the side we have these gorgeous LED headlamps with these turn indicators, and I really like the animation. And then on the side we have these dual tone black and silver alloy wheels with the red brake calipers that says Alfa Romeo on them. And then our tire profile is 225 by 40 R19. So we have 19-inch alloy wheels at the back and over on the front. And then we do have these blacked out mirror caps with the LED turn indicators. And then we have the Veloz badging over here since this is the Veloz variant. And then we do have body colored door handles. And then overall this is its side profile, and we have this shiny blue paint that looks awesome. And then when we come onto the rear, we have the Alfa Romeo badge with the Giulia badging and these LED tail lamps with the red turn indicators with this back bumper with the diffuser. And then we do have two oval exhaust tips, one on each side. And then we have the Q4 badging, that means this is all-wheel drive. And overall this is the rest of the rear, and we do have the backup camera with this. And now let's see what's underneath the hood. Under the hood we have a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder that produces 280 horsepower and 306 pound-feet of torque. That goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 23 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. Before we move forward with this review, I just want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe, because I post unique content for you guys, and I'll find unique cars for you guys whenever possible. Like this Alfa Romeo, I had to drive 3 hours to get this car for you, so subscribing will help you find unique content on my channel. I would like to give a huge shout out to Alfa Auto Express Alfa Romeo Fiat of Erie, who let me spend some time with this Giulia so I can film it for you guys. I'll include a link down in the description below so you can check out what they have currently. And guys, let me know down in the comments, what do you think about the looks of this Alfa Romeo Giulia, and what do you think about this bright blue paint on it? According to me, I feel the blue paint looks pretty cool, and since Alfa Romeo is like one of the more rare cars and it's like one of the sports cars, so that's why the blue paint does a great job on this, looking good. Because for normal cars, blue color looks very bright, but for this I feel it's doing the justice how it is. And now once we come inside, we do have a little bit of soft touch over here. I really like this design, kind of design. And then we have more soft touch down here where we rest our arm, power window controls, and this white stitching that's flush with the design. And then we have this cool segment over here that gives it a carbon fiber kind of look. And then we have these chrome door handles with a tweeter and a speaker. And then once we come on these seats, we have these cool leather seats with white stitching, and then that are perforated all down the center with this cool design. And this is the rest of the rear. And once we come inside, for reference, I'm 5'7", 5'8", so I have a good amount of leg room. And for the headroom, yeah, the headroom is a little tight since we do have dual panoramic sunroofs. We do have one over here on the front and one over my head, so it does interfere with the headroom a bit, but it's okay. It's like a small sedan, but it's still quite comfortable. And then we do have a storage pocket down here. And then we have this cool design for the AC vents, looks pretty cool. And then we do have USB ports, but the good thing is we do have heated seats for the back for both the seats. But yeah, the front seat, the middle seat is kind of useless because the floor is raised. Nobody can sit in the middle seat. But otherwise, we do have heated seats, and we do have this armrest at the back with these two cup holders and a soft trim on the armrest. That's pretty cool. And overall, the back seat is good. We get our own sunroof on the top, and then it does have hands-free unlock. So if you have the key in your hand and you put your hand here, it unlocks the car for you. And then once you come up front, we have the same trim up here on the front, soft touch over here, leather with white stitching, cup holders down there, our power window controls, child lock, adjustment for our mirrors, and then we do have our chrome door handles with our lock and unlock function over here. And then once we come onto the seats, we have these leather bucket seats that has Alfa Romeo badging on the headrests, and then we have these seats that are perforated down the center with white stitching, and then we do have these side bolsters, and then we do have this adjustable under thigh support. And overall, this is its seats. It has Alfa Romeo is mentioned on the scuff plate over here. And once we sit inside, yeah, since it's like a sports car, it's quite low to the ground. And then we do have these signature AC vents from the back. And then our automatic start stop off button is over here, parking sensor off button is over here. And then our headlamp controls are down here. So that's pretty cool. And then this is to adjust our brightness. I love this cool animation. It looks like someone is spying on you, but we have a bunch of practical controls over here, like the cruise control. We can cancel the cruise control, lane center assist, and then more practical controls to increase or decrease the volume and to adjust our infotainment system, instrument cluster, pick up the call, and wow, a funky place for an engine start stop button. Cool. This is how you start the engine up, and just ignore the volume. So it even shows you the oil level digitally, and then we do have to press our brake pedal. So we have a fully digital gauge cluster, and these are our mirror caps. We do have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. You can see the triangle on that. I'll get out and show you. And then I love how we have these metal paddle shifters at the back with the minus and the plus, and these are not attached to the steering wheel, so that makes it easier. And we have I hope more companies have given bigger paddle shifters on this. And then we have physical stocks for the indicators, and we have physical stocks for our wipers. We have a fully digital gauge cluster. Overall, we have a bunch of soft touch all around the steering wheel. Nice trim with these silver accents and cool stitching with this perforations over here that makes it easy to hold. And then we have a easy to use infotainment system, and then we have a lot of physical controls over here for climate control. We do have heated seats for both the front passenger and the driver, and then we even have a heated steering wheel. That's awesome. So both heated seats, heated steering wheel, nice USB port down there with a cool, it gives like a cool trim on that with the 12-volt socket. And then we do have some storage space down there. That's cool. And then we have this cool design that gives it a carbon fiber look with dual cup holders, and more this carbon fiber trim continues. And then our electronic parking brake is over here in the glossy black segment, and this is our 8-speed automatic gear shifter. So pretty cool. We have a button for park, and this is for drive, this is for reverse. We'll come onto the backup camera in a bit. We do have some storage space down there, and then this is for our drive mode select. N is for neutral, D is, we have this DNA different drive mode select. This is A is for A4 mode, and then N is for the neutral mode. And then we do have a house button over here, and then we have this media controller to, we can like toggle the screen with this media controller. And then this is for our settings. button, and then we do have a wireless phone charger down here. Pretty fancy location for a wireless phone charger. And then, but we still have a deep sized storage space. That's cool. And then we do have our USB ports and aux ports down there. And then we do have a dedicated place to place our key. If the battery of a key dies, we can place a key down here and the car would start up. I love this fully customizable digital cluster. Yeah, we can see which track we are playing and the channels, but otherwise it shows you the speed digitally. And this is if you want some analog controls as well in the D mode, and becomes fully digital, and then A is little that. So here we have the three colors: blue, red, yellow, signifying it's from Italy, since this car is made in Italy, but its parent company, you guys all know, is Stellantis. And then our different drive modes are down here. And then this is our 8-speed automatic gear shifter. And for the this is the clarity for the backup camera. The screen is a little small, but the resolution is quite good for the backup camera. And then the trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel, so that's a good thing. And the backup camera is quite clear. And then we do have these AC vents that are more basic looking, but still they serve the main purpose. And then we do have our hazard lamps button over here. And then we do have a AC vent over there that looks the same as I showed you on the back. And then we do have more like basic materials on the dash. And then we have the Alfa Romeo logo on the steering wheel. Now when we come onto the key, we have the Alfa Romeo logo back here. And then over here we have a pretty basic key fob with the lock and unlock button, remote start, opening for the trunk, and the panic button, and Alfa Romeo written. And this is its key overall. And now let's check out the space in its trunk. And once I get out, you can see how low to the ground this car is. It's a Alfa Romeo sedan. It's all-wheel drive, but it's like sports cars, so that's why it's low to the ground. And to open the trunk, you can just press on the key twice, and it should open all the way up. And it might look it's not as big of a boot, but as a trunk, but it's still practical. You can still hold a lot of stuff in it. It's not deep enough, but still it's practical enough for daily use. And then we do have these tabs to throw down the seats for extra storage if nobody's sitting on the second row. But otherwise, it's a pretty practical boot. And once you're all done, it's just manual for the closing. I just realized it also has like kind of a raised up rear end, so this acts like a spoiler. It's not a massive spoiler like some cars have it. And then it does even have remote start, so it's gonna start up. Yep, you guys can hear the engine. It started up with the remote start, so that's how its remote start works. I just found that, look at the detailing. They have Alfa Romeo even mentioned on their headlamps, so they take care of all the detailing. And then we have the same. So this is the 2024 Giulia Veloz all-wheel drive. Veloz is the trim level, and Giulia is the name of the car. It's the 2024 model, and then its base MSRP is $46,190. And then it has some optional equipment over here, like the Veloz all-wheel drive package 22S that has sport leather seats, power adjustable seat bolsters. We do have 19-inch alloy wheels, otherwise they are inch smaller, but we have the 19-inch alloy wheels. So, and then this blue paint costs $600 extra. So with all the options and the destination fee, the total MSRP comes about to $52,000 at $45. Yes, this car costs $52,000, but it's an all-wheel drive. But I would say it's a fun to drive sedan. You have like 280 horsepower in a uh, you have 280 horsepower in a 2-liter 4-cylinder car. So I know it's turbocharged, but if you want the real feel of driving, you would have to spend money accordingly. So your total MSRP is this. Here's a walk around video for you guys for the Alfa Romeo Giulia. This is its side profile and its rear. and the other side